Welcome to episode 3 of Are You Afraid of the Creepypasta Tales? In the last episode, we discussed about Angry Sylvester, The Revenge, the sequel to Angry Sylvester from episode 1. This time, it was more different than Angry Sylvester, more frightening, and more laughter. It's American Dad, the Lost episode. Here's the backstory. American Dad was an animated sitcom created by Seth MacFarlane and aired on Fox in 2005. I enjoyed watching it when I was 15 years old. I got all the DVDs and merchandise that was related to the show that I was watching. It was also on Netflix after all collecting the whole entire series. But one night, it got very disturbing when I saw a lost episode of American Dad. Here's what this episode is about. The episode starts like any normal episode with the normal intro in the beginning after that, but it got a little disturbing when Stan is in the CIA. Director Bullet said that Hayley was in a rampage at the mall and killing some people with a hand pistol. Stan rushes and picks up Hayley's girlfriend, who was Jeff. Jeff said that Hayley gone rampage after he broke up with her. Stanley saw Hayley climbs up on a model of the Empire State Building and attacking more airplanes, just like in the episode where Bill dates Hayley before. Not the Bill Gates, I meant the clone. Stan uses the stun darts and shoots it in Hayley's leg. It's hyper-realistic blood dripping from her leg. After that, Stan picks up Hayley after she fell from the model of the building at the mall she was attacking and rampaging at. Stan talks to Francine saying that Hayley was bleeding and he healed it with band-aids and water. Then suddenly, Hayley slowly woke up and tries to strangle Francine, as she said to shoot the dart in the other leg. Stan did, as Hayley fell and let go of Francine's neck and fell on the ground. Stan was calmed down after that. Then Francine Smith's face is seen on the screen, as she has hyper-realistic eyes, like in Squidward's Suicide, and staring at the viewer, and even looking even more angry than Sylvester. After 20 seconds of Francine's face staring at the viewer, it goes to the next scene, where Steve is finding a woman to love, as she contacts a random girl to talk, and he even talked to a payphone covered in blood. A random girl asks Steve if he would go to her house as an invitation, and Steve accepts it. Steve's entering it, and it saw blood on the girl, looking like Carrie, and even has been killed by Hayley. Steve rushes into his house, and Stan got out and even closed the door. Francine was killed by Hayley by stabbing a knife into her head, and even killed Roger by killing him in the nuts, and Klaus got flushed in toilet with blood all over it. Stan told Steve to run with him so he can get away from Hayley. Hayley broke out of the door with a knife, and both of them run fast as they could. When suddenly, Hayley stabbed Stan on his leg, very more graphic than it was before. Steve rushes and calls the INS and tells them there's Hayley trying to kill the both of them. INS rushes to the scene of the crime and saw Hayley at the right time. He tries to shoot Hayley, but they are not effective as Hayley is immune to bullets. Hayley forces all the INS to space with a simple wish that all the INS crew explodes in blood to death while in space. Hayley finally got Steve and kills him instantly with a big kitchen knife and a hyper-realistic blood on Steve's body. As the episode ends, Roger's body Even Klaus's body was struck by Hayley during that incident, and even worse, the closing theme plays slow and gets even worse. It's disturbing. In conclusion, I finally watched the whole thing at one night, and it was a horrible episode with very disturbing content in there. But the horror was over. Alright, so that was American Dad, the lost episode. It's a little cliche. I know this is a creepypasta on American Dad. It was made by Seth MacFarlane, but I made that creepypasta. I kind of like it. It's pretty funny, but it's not as funny as Angry Sylvester. But it's still cliched and pretty well executed for me. So, I hope you enjoyed the third episode of Are You Afraid of the Creepypasta Tales? In episode 4, Arthur's lost episode, where Grandma Ford dies and Arthur kills the rest of them. Well, stay tuned to the fourth episode of Are You Afraid of the Creepypasta Tales? And I'll see you in episode 4.